In this video, I'm going to show you how I can create a map with color symbology showing the levels of COVID cases and deaths in the state of Virginia. So let's see what data I have here. First of all, I've got a counties layer. We can open that up and see what's in there. You can see we've got GOID, which is kind of like a unique identifier for each county. We've got the names, got some other information, but we don't have any information about the population or about the relative impact of COVID in terms of cases or deaths. So we get these from 3 standalone tables. So here's a population table. Let's check it out. You can see it's got the population by county. We open up this one. This table shows the confirmed number of COVID cases by county on each of a multitude of specific dates. It goes all the way from the 22nd of January in 2020 to the last column is September 24th, 2021. So those are the cumulative cases on those dates in each column. And then the similar table for deaths, and also goes all the way to September 24th, 2021 is the last date. So somehow I need to get some information from these tables into the county table. And particularly I'm interested in looking at the last dates of these tables, so the number of cases and the number of deaths on that last date in the table, which is the 24th of September in 2021. And I also want those raw values relativized by the population level. So I want to get that population into the county table as well. So I have to find a way to link these tables. And if I look at these tables, it seems like this GOID number could work if I match it to the county FIPS. Let me sort these so that we can see them in order. Okay, so once I've sorted these in order by name, you can see these GOID numbers. They look pretty much exactly like these county FIPS numbers. So that seems like those could be the key fields that we can use to join the data. Same in these tables. They also have a county FIPS, and same with the deaths. So county FIPS looks like a good, promising way to go here. So what I'm trying to do again is I'm trying to get the population from this table into the counties table. I'm trying to get the last date, the cases number on that last date into the counties table, and the last date of deaths into that county table. I want them all in this one county attribute table. So the way I want to do that is I use the join field tool. So I could find it over here in the geoprocessing window, join field. And it's giving you a warning here. This tool will modify the input table. What's my input table? My input table is the one that I want to add data to. So that's my VA counties attribute table. Now, when they say join field, a better term would be actually the key field. What is the key field that I'm going to use from the input table to join to the other tables? I am going to use this GOID. Okay, then in this case, the first time I run this tool, I'm trying to join the data from the population table. So that's my join table. And what's the key field I'm going to use? I'm going to use the county FIPS. And the only field that I want to transfer from this table is the population. All right, now before I run this tool, I want to validate it and make sure it's working as expected. I can see that there's 133 records in the counties table. There's 133 records in the population table. They should match 1-to-1, so I should expect 133 matches. And there's no matches. Why? At first, this may seem puzzling. You might think it's because it's not indexed. No. It doesn't really give you any information about why this failed. I'm going to show you why it failed. Okay, let's go back to this counties table. Let's look at the fields view. You can find that by clicking here, fields view. You can see that this GeoID field is a text field. Okay, it looks like a number, but it's actually text. Now let's go to the population table and look at the fields. The county FIPS field is a long integer type. That's why they don't match. Even though they look the same, they look like they've got the same values. One is a text. It's text masquerading as a number. And you cannot match a text field to a numeric field to create a join. It doesn't work. So what do? Well, we have to create a new field in the population table so that it will match. So how do we do that? We're going to use the calculate field tool. So again, so now I'm actually going to modify this population table. I'm going to create a new field in this table. So that's my input table. I'm going to give it the name GeoID so that it's the same as the name in this table. And I want it to be a text field so that I can match it to the text field GeoID in this table. And the values that I want are these FIPS values. So basically, I'm going to take these numbers and turn them into a text version of themselves. So all I need here for my formula is to add the county FIPS, and I just double click it. You can see it's automatically added exclamation points on either side. That's just Python code to let it know that that's the field name. So what this is going to do is it's going to take those county FIPS values, which are numbers, turn them into text, and put that data in a new field called GeoID. Okay, so now you can see these values are the same, except in this column, these values are actually text. And in this column, they're actually numeric. So I'm going to go back and try that join field tool again. So again, my input table, the one that I want to modify, the one that I want to append data to is my counties layer. The join field, I wish they would call it a key field. The key field is the GeoID. That's what I use to link to the other table. The join table would be better called a destination table. That's the data we're getting data from, population. And the field, the join field, again, I wish they would call it a key field, is GeoID. And then the field that we want to transfer is the population. That's the only thing we want to transfer. Now let's validate that join. And this is good. It's matched 133 records in a 1-to-1. Great. Now we can run it. Now let's look over the counties table. If we scroll on over here, you can see now the population values are in the table. Great. So now we have to do the same exact process for each of these other two tables, the deaths table and the confirmed cases table. So I'm just going to do this quickly. I'm going to add that GeoID field to each of those. All right, so this time I'm going to do it with the confirmed cases table. I'm going to give it a new field called GeoID. It's text. I'm getting the value from the county FIPS. Run it. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the deaths table. And I can just kind of cheat and do the exact same thing. I don't even have to change anything else except the input table. Run it. All right, let's check these tables and make sure it happened as we expect. We got to scroll way to the end. There's the GeoID field. There's the GeoID field. Great. And now I just have to do that join field tool again. So the table that I want to join the data to is the counties layer. The key field is GeoID. The table I want to get data from is this confirmed cases table. The key field, again, is GeoID. And the field that I want to transfer is that last date, which is September 24th. Those are the confirmed cases on that day. Run. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the deaths table. So I'm going to switch this table out for the deaths table. And the transfer field is this one. Otherwise, it's the same. The GeoID is used as the key. Run. Now let's take a look at that county table. You can see we now have the population, the confirmed cases on 9/24/21, and the confirmed deaths due to COVID 9/24/21. All right, cool. So next thing I want to do is I actually want to calculate some additional values because these are raw numbers, but it doesn't take into account the size of the population in that county. So I actually want the number of cases per 100,000 people and the number of deaths per 100,000 people. So I'm going to go back to that calculate field tool. So it's the counties table. We're going to modify it. We're going to give it a new field name. I'm going to call it cases per 100K. The field type that I want. Now I could choose, I need a numeric type here. I could use, if I want decimals, I could make it a double or a float. I actually just want integers. I just want nice round numbers, so I'm just going to use long integer. But that could be up to you which numeric type you want. If you want decimals, use float or double. If you want integer output, use short or long. I'm going to use long for now. And what do I want to do? I need to put a formula right here. So I want 100,000 times the number of cases divided by the number of people. So that's going to give me the cases per 100,000. All right, let's run it. There it is. And then I want to do the same for deaths. So in this case, it's going to be change that field name to deaths. Now watch what happens when I change the name. See how now it's popped up what the field type should be? It will only give you an opportunity to change the field type if that field doesn't yet exist. So we're going to do long integer again. And now instead of the C, we want the D here. That's for the deaths. So it's going to be deaths per 100,000 people. Run. Okay. And now I'm actually going to make a couple of different layers that display these numbers with a color gradient. So I'm going to close this table so we can see the whole map again. I'm actually going to make several copies of this layer because I want to show different numbers in each version. So to copy it, I just have to right click on the layer, copy, and then I have to click on the map name and click paste. And I'm going to do this a couple times so I have 4 versions of it. Now this looks stupid right now, but just give me a minute and we will re-symbolize it. So let's re-symbolize the first one. Right click, go down to symbology. Now we're in the symbology window. So by default, it's just kept the same symbology, the single symbol, but we want a color gradient. We're going to use graduated colors. And we have to tell it what field we want to symbolize. What we want is the number of cases in that county. And I hate this color scheme, so I'm going to choose a different one. Let's just do purple. Okay. So this layer is now symbolizing the number of cases. So let's rename it. Cumulative COVID cases. And this is kind of, nobody's going to know what that means, so let's just say, let's explicitly make it the date. September 24th, 2021. Okay. So there's one version. Now let's symbolize this one by the number of deaths. Graduated colors, number of deaths. Use something less hideous. How about let's do green. And we'll name this cumulative COVID deaths. Again, September 24th, 2021. All right, let's take a look at these two, how they compare. All right, and this one, now I want to scale it by population size. So again, graduated colors, but this time we're symbolizing based on the cases per 100,000. We'll give it, how about a blue? And so COVID cases per 100,000. And again, this is based on that data from September 24th. So let's go with that. September 24th, 2021. All right, so this gives you quite a different picture. If we compare COVID cases when it's adjusted for population size versus just the raw cases, it gives you quite a different map. Okay, and then finally we want to do deaths per 100,000. Let's make that red. And I almost forgot to change the field here. We want deaths per 100,000. All right. COVID deaths per 100,000. And that's on September 24th, 2021.